Hi, y'all. Today, Grand Rising, sorry. Grand Rising to all of you. Thank you for once again tapping into this video. I welcome you. If you're new here, my name is Divine Soul Priestess. This is my channel. I am a conduit of spirit and I channel messages. Not all the time with cars, sometimes they just come on their own. But however this video is coming in at this time, if you haven't guessed yet, is based on Disney. So shout out to Disney. For those who grew, for those who grew watching Disney movies or who doesn't know Disney, right? I'm going to be using the Disney Oracle. I have a feeling the spirit wants to talk about, you know, we can all find ourselves in different princesses, right? So I guess this is what I'm saying is I guess this is more for the feminine side or for the dream side. Also, um there's a heavy inner child. So this is the inner child energy coming through at this time. And we're just going to let it speak. Let's pray. Father God, we give you thanks at this time for this opportunity to channel our inner child, for allowing this safe space for her or him to speak things that will help us continue. I feel like we lose ourselves in so much things. We leave that connection with our inner child more to the side, more in the hidden, and the inner child is ready. Based on this, Father, I ask that you only maintain and keep that energy of pure innocence, of pure light and joy, of pure bliss, that innocence and that love that only a child can experience. Having said that, we call our warrior, our Archangel Michael, our knight in armor, to step forward and keep the energies at flow, to return to sender all of that of dark and low vibration that does not belong in this space. And we give space only that of joy, childhood. Thank you. And so it is. Ooh, I got chills going down my spine. My inner child is giddy. She's very dreamy, very dreamy. Sorry for the noise on the background. I was doing some saging, and of course, that always happens sometimes. Okay. Oh, right away. This is based on the villains. So the inner child wants to talk about what she had to put up with, what she went through when she was just a child, when she was just starting this world, when she was just a dreamy little being, wanting to explore, wanting to see the world through her eyes, of course, the innocence, that pure innocence. And I already feel it. I'm getting choky because my inner child is very, very strong. I am connected always with my inner child. But I let her be. If we have to cry, if we have to, all the things that happen in this video, it's part of it. It's part of the message. So take only what connects with you. Take only what matters to you, what feels like something you went through, and let go of the rest and give a chance for others to receive. So we have I think this is the A, right? Sorry guys, I don't know these cards so well. I'm not into Romans. I don't know the Roman numbers. So I have to like be counting, okay? There's no shame in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 10 of Cups is in reverse. Okay? All right, tell us more. What do you want to say? She feels a little like shy. She's shy. This is the first time that I've done a video honoring my inner child and allowing her this space to speak on. We have Judgment here on the upright, and is the evil queen from the movie Alice in the Wonderland. Yeah. So she feels like she was judged, prejudged, that she was too much to bear, too much to handle. There was so much light in her that these people, whoever was around her, whoever she's talking about, which in this case, if we're talking about the inner child, it means parents, siblings, who made a major part, who plays a major part on the growing and on the protection, right? Thank you, Archangel Michael. I forgot to show you guys. Look, would you look at this? Isn't this beautiful? It's cheap. Anyways, we also have, okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Wands after the Queen, right after the Judgment. And right after that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Cups. Okay, we're gonna take a chance to explain this right now. So already out of the bat, right? She's showing you and she's explaining to you all the troubles, all the dark density energies that were around her, surrounding her, because they didn't want her to be her, because they didn't want this star to grow, for this star to rise. So I'm sorry, guys. This is the raw part. This is the rawness of the energy, guys. This is pure energy. There is no setup. There's no words besides the ones that are already coming out that need to be added or need to be changed. However is coming out is part of the message. It's something that there's no faking in it, that there's no possibility of faking it. There's only raw. There's only that rawness. There's only that pureness of it. And like I said, um, trigger warning for you guys. For those who are in the process of healing your inner child, I'm sure it's not going to be all about cries and all about sadness, but she just wants to relay the message. She just wants you to explain where she came from, how far she's gotten, and how much she had to put up with. Okay? Um, if you can see, she was surrounded by a whole bunch of people, right? Yes, she was. But she was surrounded about the wrong people. She was surrounded by the wrong people who wanted to crucify her, who wanted to steal her joy, who wanted to keep her down in the deepest part, okay, of her emotions, stirring up things for her, making storms, putting her through storms when she was just a baby. She was just a child. Only why? Because they wanted to, because these people felt that she was so much. Her beauty was way too big to be covered. But nonetheless, they tried. They tried to cover her light. They burdened her with feeling all these emotions that a child should never go through. A child should never feel like it's never enough. A child should never feel like it has to be less than what she is because it's too noisy. It's too painful for others. It's too much for others. But what about this little girl's feelings? What about her? Did you stop and think about her? Did you even care? These people were as villains as you see here, as the villains that you see here, that's how villain they were. And they knew what they were doing, which is the worst part. They knew there was something special about me. They knew all along that I was the one who was coming in. Maybe not to take their space and to take anything, actually. I didn't came to take away anything. I came as a gift. The gift that keeps on giving. The gift of pure love. And it was 13:13 on the clock when I said that. And my Santissima is here too. Because she is part of the inner child. She has helped me so much through this healing. And I'm not going to say that I'm completely healed. Because we have our whole existence to do that. But most of the part, I guess the worst parts are over. I have been able to see and to integrate and understand that maybe it wasn't a necessary thing because it wasn't their intention. The intentions of God gifting me was to help them more than hurting me, more than hurting me in the process, right? Or me getting hurt in the process. It was never the intention of pain. I was supposed to be this gift. I was supposed to be seen as a gift and received as well as a gift. That pure joy, that bliss, I don't know if you feel that this is significant to you, but for me, as a mom, I experienced that brand new baby and the smell and the energy that comes with that baby. It's something unlike anything else. Is automatically I felt like mama bear, like wanting to protect my child. And I guess because I didn't receive this care, this protection from the ones who were closer to me, for the ones who were responsible of my bring up as parental figures. Even more when I had my first child, I wanted to stop the world. I wanted to, kind of baby proof the whole world, pretty much. I didn't want her feelings to get hurt. I didn't want her to be dimming down herself for others. I wanted her to be sure of herself. I wanted her to feel confident. All the things, if I might add, that these people didn't bring for me and that these people try to keep away from me. And that I had to struggle on my own to maintain it. You know how hard it is to be born to a family that it was it was like just you were something else. Like, they treated you like if you were like this doll over here. You were just an it. They never cared to make a relationship with me and build a relationship with me. No, they automatically, sorry, felt threatened by my light, by my joy, by me. And they even took that to the literal. I mean, literally every time I had to struggle searching for this love, for the love of a mother, for the love of a father, for the love of a sister. Because in my case, it's only based on those three. Okay. Mm, delicious. Let me sip on my coffee. Yeah. I don't feel shame. I am not ashamed anymore. And I've never been ashamed of my bringing. I understood that it was just it was just something that helped me to make me stronger. Not that it was intended that way. Okay? It wasn't intended to destroy me. But the fact that all of this could have made me a monster or an evil witch just like them, it didn't. It just shows to how strong I am, how strong-willed it is, my inner child, how it's part of me, how it comes with me, how it's been there since I was born. When I say that I do not, this is not like a cloak that you put in, to look strong, to look powerful and to show my power through a cloak. No, this is the raw of me. This is me. It's always been me. Um, I always been so loving. Even I once, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I asked myself, what's what's the whole point? Like, why am I so good and so loving? And I'm even like I'm willing to forgive people and to accept them in my life, right? I was willing to do that. But then they show themselves through actions that there was no coming back from that because they let the bridge fall down. See, in a relationship, guys, it has to be both parties. If not, it's not going to work. And don't gaslight yourself and don't try to trigger yourself into thinking and don't try to trick yourself into thinking that these people can change. They cannot. Just like you could never be changed by them and by all the actions they took against me, right? Am I remain the same? Yeah, I did. I am. The same way these people can never change because it's not part of them, because it's not in them. It's not in them. So you have to come into that understanding. I think that's what my inner child wants to talk about, right? That's what she wants you to know. That it's not you. You were never the problem. We were never the problem. We have to call things for what they are, for what they were. Yes, they did attempt it against us in many ways. And they knew what they were doing and they gladly did it. Look at their smile. They gladly did it because they wanted to destroy you. So, how can you come back? How can you go back to that? Tell me, how is there any fixing in that situation? There isn't any. Sorry, excuse me. Confirmation verb. It's not about forgiving and letting them hurt you again. Forgiving can be from far away. You can still hold space for these people if that's what you wish to, if that's what you feel that you need to do at this time while you're going through your healing. But you're going to eventually come into an understanding, okay? I'm telling you for experience. I came to an understanding that there's no changing, there's no possibilities. You cannot change the world, right? You cannot change how what is was made to be, what it is, what it has the action of doing, right? I know that people want to, maybe see it like in a faith and have faith that these people are going to change. You just messing yourself up, okay, for failure because as soon as you understand that there is a possible way, right? The possibility is for them to choose it, and deep inside you, you know that they don't want to change, that they feel fine how they are, and that if you allow them and you give them the opportunity, they will do it again and again and again. So ask yourself this: Is it really? Is it really something that faith can change? Or is it that you're not seeing faith for what it is? Is it that you're not understanding what faith is? Remember, guys, that faith is, I say that faith, it's something that could be misconstrued by many because we are, as individuals, we see the world and we interpret things differently, okay? And based on that differences of expressions and of ways of seeing things, you know, can sometimes not let you see the bigger picture. You just have to ask yourself the right questions. For example, I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful? Like I said in another video, wouldn't it be wonderful that these people finally understood? We don't consider them the ops. We don't consider them, our, let's see, handlers or whatever, negative, right? They don't even want me to say it. Imagine they want me to keep this video like clean as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna use different ways. Um, we never consider them; they consider themselves. It was their ways. It was their options. It was their actions. It was their choice to see us as a threat. We never saw them as a threat. We only came to share of ourselves and share with them. At least for me. There's enough space in this world. There's enough for all of us to create. There's no need of competition. There's no need of these things. Realize that you're acting, if you're doing that, if you're feeling that way, it's something that it starts with you. Why are you seeing it that way? Why don't you ask yourself that question? Why am I seeing it that way? Why do I have so much hate for somebody that I don't even know? That I see in videos, for little parts of videos, and I already automatically judge her and think that she's not enough and she's faking it and this and that. Why? Have you asked yourself that? Do you take yourself accountable for the things that think? It started with you. It's coming out of you. Realize how no one else, not everyone else, all right, or no one else around you is thinking the same way. As I can be loving, beautiful, people will want to know more about me, right? There's others that just because they see it in me and they don't see it in themselves, think that by attacking is the way. That for portray me as something else that I'm not will somehow magically, and since we're talking about magic and magic inside of us, magically will change the way that you feel. And when I'm saying you, I mean these people. So that's where we come to, a realization. Realizing that it was never, it's never been and never will be our choice to make these people understand. Like it stuck with me when people once a person once told me, you can guide the horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink it. That stuck with me so deeply. It's such a profound thing. It helps you understand. It is. It's true. You cannot force what cannot be forced. Just like they can't force me to be evil like them. Get it? I cannot turn into them. I never have with all the things with that has happened and they've done to me. Hmm? You think if it would have been a possibility? Look, the Ace of Swords. You think there's faking into this? You think this can be fake? You think you can make content? Yes, you can make content. I can set up the cameras. I can do all the things that you guys are thinking are not already doing, right? You can steal thoughts from someone else and, do the little AI magic and turn it into something that it was supposedly yours. right? But would it be real though? Would it be the same as if you were to receive it from the same source, from the real source? Remember, guys, we are just a container that holds space for source, for creator, for God, okay? It is not the same. And this is the realization that these people are coming to at this time. They will never succeed. They can never succeed. And they took a great loss with that too. Because if you had a possibility, you know, of healing yourself and changing your ways and fixing yourself up, right? You will be right here by next to me, you know, to enjoy. But there is so much sorrow because they don't get to remove it from me, from to steal it from me, and they cannot ever come anywhere close to me. You know, they were dummies. I know there's a saying in the world that says hurt people, but when are we gonna stop 1 second and realize what we're saying? It takes an inner look. It takes for you to take responsibility to see how are you doing that? What are you playing? What is your role in this world? Are you just sitting here to take space or are you actually doing something? The end for these people, it's something beyond anything, okay? Their ways, their wickedness. How do they end? Tell me. For those who were fan, grew with this, princesses from Disney and stuff like that, right? How would the witches end? How did they all end? Hmm? Go ahead and tell me. They had all of them had an ending that fit right for all the things they did. And all those groupies, that worked together based on someone else's stories, because most of it, right? Most of it of this is in my case, personal to me, right? I get it that as, your family members being close to you, you kind of like believe what they have to say, right? Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's believable. What they tell you is believable. But that is not an excuse for you to look into things and for you to like talk to the person that your guys are talking about and ask them, "Hey, you know what? I don't know. I bump into your mom and to your sister and I heard that she was saying this and this and that. Just wanted to check with you. Just wanted to see where you lay in that or your side of the story. Did they do that? No, they never did. They became accomplices. So much they gang stalked me. So much that they kept on making lies after lies and they had fun with it. If lies after lies of me being this or me being that, right? Because they knew that people were going to believe what they had to say because they were the closest ones to me. And all of this, if I might add, all of this while I was in my unhealed side of me, when I was a child, did they ever stop to say, well, I did this and that to her. I treated her like she was nothing. I never gave her love because, I wanted her to search for my love. I wanted her to need my love. I wanted her to change, to stop being so like calling the attention of people. So I treated her like shit so she can come back to me. Do they speak about that? No, they don't. Of course they don't. They don't say that. How they will go into their little groups, their WhatsApp group to only speak about me. Only speak about me. That is something right there. Even family members that they didn't even speak about and they didn't even talk about. To the day, I still don't know much about my family. I don't know how their relationships were. I gather some things based on what I will see. I will see that they wanted to be separated from all parts of the family, from the dad's part of the family and from the mother's side of the family. But I gather something up. I figure that it was because they didn't like my mom. They didn't like each other. There had something going on. And I was small when I noticed this. I've always had this great intuition. And that's what they fear the most, too. They fear me talking about this, too. But there's a time for everything. In Spanish, you will say, hay un día para todo. And there is. I feel that this is the day for me. And it's not to create any chaos and, nah, I can care less. But what I do is I honor myself. First and foremost, I honor myself. And if my guides hold space for me and allow me to speak on this, I will. I won't turn back. I gave her a chance, you know that? When I was going through a situation of the dark night of the soul, that was around 2020. Well, that was the strongest one I can remember, right? The 2020, right after COVID. When that happened, I started seeing things. I started noticing, right? How they would treat me, how they wanted to. When I tell you that these people wanted to remove me and steal my things, I mean, I don't think you can grasp that like real well. I have 3 kids, right? They will come in every Christmas with a whole bunch of gifts. And because I had a situation, I wasn't able to give them that much of a gift. Well, they will always go to the stores and buy the most expensive things and come in bearing all these gifts. And that was from your grandma. And this one is from your aunt. And this one is from dad, from uncle, from grandpa. Belittle me, making me out to look bad in front of my kids because I was unable to give them gifts. It wasn't that I didn't give them. It was just that I could not compete with a whole bunch of money, spent on gifts. So I caught on into that and I said, okay, you don't want me as a daughter. You could care less what happens with me. You never cared about me. You never addressed the situation of the abandonment issue that I had when you left me. When you came into United States and you left me back in my country, You never addressed that situation, right? And then here you come, like a big old Santa Claus, coming with a whole bunch of gifts, trying to steal the love of my kids and make me look bad in front of them. How does that work? I've heard people before, other people, right? That would say, you know, that your grandchildren's, it's a different love, is a different kind of love. And I say, how so? Can you explain it to me? Because I always had a like this love for learning. So I said, how? And I wanted to gain that wisdom. She's like, well, because when you see your grandchildren and you know that it came from the most precious thing, which is your daughter, it's a different and most powerful and most pure love. Not that your child wasn't, but it's because you have a little something, a little baby from her. Meaning, what you worked on, what you birthed it into this world, gave you something else too, gave you another baby. And my mom never felt that way. She made sure to make me look bad always. She always makes sure to put me down. I know I didn't have much, to learn from. I know I can take the excuse and say, well, I mean, I am what I could be because I was never given that. But now that's where I tell you, hurt people don't hurt people. No, you take a choice. I chose to learn other ways that could work for me. I chose, thank you, Santissima, confirmation click. Um, I chose to build a relationship with my daughter as if, like, how can I explain it? Okay, let me see. Like for the makeup of what I didn't have. But there you go, a person, or a child, knowing that at such a, young age, I made an oath to myself. And I said that my kids were not going to go through none of the things that I went through, at least not in my side. Mentioning, like putting me, I would never hurt them. I would never make them feel less. That was the promise I did to myself. And then they have the audacity to talk about me. There's much things so that I can say about them than what they can say about me. And not, like I said, it's not an excuse, but I was on my unhealed side, and because of them, because of what they did to me. Yet, right now, in the actual time that we are, what you see is the contrary of all the things you said. It shows who was the problem always. Who is the one who has lied? The chariot is here under judgment. Judgment is not coming in fast anymore. Judgment is here. How it's playing out, that's for the Most High to know. That's for God to know. It has nothing to do with me. I don't take joy or pride on the things that is happening with them. I would have wished I would have loved it. It didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to come down to this. I try to work it out with her. I try to give her a chance to come clean, to speak on her emotions, on her feelings. And, I asked her, I said, why do you do these things? Why do you do things like that? I mean, don't you want to change? She decided to play it out like as if she didn't know what I was talking about. And that was the last time I ever tried. That's when I realized that it's not about me. It's not about what I could do to change things. Is in a relationship, it has to be both. Of nothing works. She played out to like the victim, like she always does. Every time she will come into the house, she'll talk about, "Oh my God, these people have added at me. They're trying to get rid of me at work because the girls. She used to be a cleaner, not a maid. She used to clean in what's it called? Like centers for elderly, and she used to be one of the cleaners, and she always wanted to be seen as the best one. She loved how people will praise her. She's the greatest cleaner. She's the greatest. No one can do it like her. She's the best, best. Did I give her more money? No, I never gave her money. Not that I know of, right? I mean, maybe she did. You never know these people. These people are something else. They always put on a mask and they hold on into it. They hold on to dear life. They do not stop acting, especially people like her. She knew she had people in her bag by playing out the victim, by playing like a victim. Oh, poor me. Imagine people at work didn't know that she was married and that my father was here. She always played it out to be like a widow. Like a widow. Like she wouldn't talk about her personal life. She hated the fact that people would know her personal life. She never talked about it. Why do you think these people don't talk about their personal life? They got something to hide. Hmm? Always secretive. Always. When I would ask her about, you know, about grandpa, great grandpa, or great grandma, how they were and things like that, she would automatically like change the conversation into anything else, make it out to about her. I have pain over here, I have pain over there. She never wanted to talk about something. I know she was hiding something real big, something that could get her in trouble. I know she was hiding something real big. But like I said, this is the day. Siempre hay un día. And if she's hearing this, she'll know what I mean by this. Siempre le llega el día to these people. Judgment Day. There's a perfect time for that. She always said that she was by herself and how my father wouldn't, watch over us, like helping with money, how she had to deal with everything, how she had to pay for rent. Then when my sister started working, she wanted to take all the money. Is that you have to help me? This is a thing that these people have. I don't know, maybe not everybody, but they tend to say this. Well, I've done for you. I birthed you. You have to pay me back. Que yo le tenía que pagar a ella por la vida que me dio. Y cuando comencé a trabajar, bueno, ahora que trabajas me tienes que ayudar con la luz, me tienes que pagar para la comida, me tienes que dar aquí, me tienes que dar allá. Eso no lo hablas. You don't talk about that, right? How when I started working, I got a very good job. My first job was very good, actually. For a 15-year-old, I think it was perfect. I used to work at a small store located inside the port of Miami. And I used to get good pay. For a kid, imagine having $300 or $250, it was a whole bunch. It felt like a whole bunch of money. Well, she wanted to take it all. Her greedy self. Because I needed to pay for my life. I needed to pay her back some way, somehow, with money or anything. I had to pay her back for birthing me, for her giving me life. You were just a channel. You were just a body that birthed me. Life, you didn't give it to me. You think life is this meat suit? You think this is life? This is not life. What's speaking here is the soul, the inner child. That's life. And you did not give that to me. I existed way before her. You know? And this is not a video to get at her or anything like that. This is just to keep things in clear and balanced ways. Because, I mean, apparently, my inner child, wants to keep the record straight. This is what? The Six of Swords? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Swords. You see? Lies. She holds a big lie, though. She has something in her hands. This is not the first time that this card comes out. The other day I was playing with them, and this came out. And what I'm hearing right now is the D. Paperwork. The D's to something that was left for me. And she somehow did something with lies. Fake. If you see the paperwork right here, she did something to that D in order to make herself as the beneficial, to keep me away from that money. She's like a leech. She's a whole leech, wanting to suck the life out of you. And I can say it like that because that's exactly how it was and how it is. Because they don't change. They still remain the same. These vampires have no other